Good evening and welcome to ABC News, news from all across the English-speaking world in cooperation with the BBC. Tonight's top story, George McGovern, head of the Progressive Party, has been caught receiving funds from the DIA. Yesterday, the Internal Revenue Service caught an irregularity in McGovern's finances. Specifically, this came under the form of a transfer of several millions of dollars from a New Caledonia account, which has been linked to a government-owned shell corporation in Mexico City. This comes as a major blow to the Progressive Party as this scandal comes so close to the midterm elections. In UFR News, previously unknown details about the so-called George Wallace controversy surface. In the 1970 presidential election, the Populist Party had nominated its first candidate ever that wasn't Huey Long, former Douglas Governor George Wallace. Wallace was expected to win a large share of the votes in that election, potentially splitting the total vote. However, following a private party at his house, a photo of him posing in front of the old battle flag of the Confederacy appeared in Freedman media. While Wallace claimed to never have been part of such a photo, it still caused him a massive defeat at the ballots and started the decline of the Populist Party. However, recently, after a government raid on a KKK headquarters, it has been discovered that the flag had been hung up by a Klan member a second before the photograph, who was in on it, was about to take the picture. The documents claim that this was done so Wallace wouldn't split the vote in favor of radical Popular Revolutionary Party candidates. These details come years too late for the Populist Party, now relegated to a small local party who has to form an alliance with the Liberal Party to survive. Governor Castro of Cuba has recently survived yet another assassination attempt. The crime was committed by a certain William Luther Pierce, a United Freedmen's Republic citizen who has now been apprehended. Pierce is the leader of a Klan chapter with links to U.S. cults such as the Manson family. He tried to kill the governor while he was giving a speech critiquing President Cloutier's policies. Pierce has admitted to having committed the crime for the purpose of starting a war between Mexico and the United States, a war which he claims would cause nuclear destruction, which would permit the white race to rise up and take back the world. He has also claimed that President Cloutier was a potential target. Pierce is now facing 20 years to life in prison for this crime. 1 year ago, the Treaty of Petrograd was signed by all parties of the Danubian Wars. Since then, the country has been in turmoil, with a general strike going on that has paralyzed the country. Alois Mock's government has also had to deal with putting down ultra-nationalistic insurrections around the country, mainly from army elements who believe the government shouldn't have accepted a peace deal. Also, an issue the government is facing is a low-level uprising by pro-independent Slovenes. These many crises plague the new government and, if not handled correctly, could lead to a second Danubian implosion. We are now going to go over the ocean to our partners in Europe to discuss the latest English news and affairs. Here is the BBC's own Todd Bogerington.
Thank you, Jim. In breaking news, just a month after Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher declared that Britain will chart her own course, Unionist terrorists have broken into the Celtic embassy in London, taking 28 people hostage, including the ambassador. The hostage-takers have sent a video to the Panama Pact, demanding that the Celtic Union be dissolved, the British annexation of Wales and Scotland, and the release of Unionist prisoners. Margaret Thatcher has released a statement saying that the hostage-takers are terrorists that were at the same time pushed to do this by Celtic radicalism and disrespect of British rights.
That's all for today, folks. Thank you to the BBC and to Mr. Bogerington for their cooperation. Tune in every day at the same hour for more coverage of the news.